On the Joy Behar Show, singer, guitarist, and one-of-a-kind pop icon Charo drops by to spread a little coochie-coochie. Now back to Joy.
She spread her hoochie coochie.
It seems like a lot to say.
Why is divorce down? Why do women fake orgasms? Should men start frying the bacon women are bringing home? Damned if I know, but I'm hoping my guests have a clue. Here to talk about these and other mind-bending mysteries about women are actress and star of ABC's Modern Family, Julie Bowen, Kate White, editor-in-chief of Cosmo magazine, and Sari Alaker, sexuality educator and author of The Complete Idiot's Guide to Amazing Sex. Welcome, ladies, to the show. Now, the divorce rates are falling down. Do you think it has something to do with the recession?
I don't know. I mean, is it cheaper to get a divorce? If it is, I'm in. No, I love my husband. I'm not getting a divorce, but I have no idea. Would it? Do we need an economic expert?
Well, there is a theory that, you know, Gen X and Gen Y, they're the children of divorce. They're being smarter about their choices.
Gen X is how old now?
They're anywhere from, Gen Y starts about 18 and it goes up to about 30 with Gen X.
Yeah.
And they are smarter about their choices, waiting longer, and they get counseling earlier. So that's brought the divorce rate down to about 43%.
So it's just that they're actually not getting married that much.
Well,
marriage rate is down.
Delaying marriage.
Yeah, but generally, you're right that in bad economic times, the divorce rate goes down and condom sales go up. People don't want to have children and they can't afford to get divorced.
There was a statistic that teenagers are using condoms a lot more than they used to. Right. Maybe the education now is kicking in. I hope so. Now, what about the fact that people live together before they get married? Is that a good thing?
I'm all for it. I mean, I lived with my husband before he got married. And I may have tried it at other times as well.
But he has no idea about
he's never heard this. This is going to come as a complete surprise. Scott, I'm so sorry to tell you this. As my mother said to me, go ahead, just don't get married and don't get pregnant. Like, don't do things you can't undo. You know, go play house, and if it doesn't work, get out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Wow.
Why? What's wrong with that?
My mother was lighting candles that would keep my legs crossed. What, are you kidding me? What kind of mother do you have? It's unbelievable.
But you know what I would have been, if I had married, I would be divorced 5 times over. Instead, I waited. Like you said, I waited. I got married at the ripe old age of 25.
No,
so much older
she's
than
lying.
That. It's crazy. I know.
You look good, though. What about the birth rates? They're also down. What's going on with that?
Well, what we're hearing on an anecdotal basis is women saying, you know what, the stigma's gone. If I don't have kids, it doesn't make me look like a selfish,
Cruella de Vil.
Right, and so I'm choosing not to.
You know, what I'm hearing from young 20-somethings, I teach graduate students, and so I hear quite often that the young women are feeling very pressured that they need to have it all. So they feel like they have to get married, although they, of course, are delaying marriage till they're mid to late 20s, but they feel like they have to have children, they have to find a career, and there's so much pressure on them that when they get into a marriage, they want to make it stick. That's one thing.
But if you decide not to have children, don't you regret it afterwards? You regret it when you're older?
Well, you know, that's one of the issues that comes up today for a lot of couples who are in their late 30s or early 40s, and they want to get pregnant, they want to have a baby, and they end up struggling with getting IVF or...
It's hard.
I think there are women who don't regret it, who really think, hey, I want the marriage, possibly, but don't necessarily want kids. We keep seeing that more and more, and we will look at them in their 40s, and they don't regret the choice then.
It's still
They do say that women who have children are less happy than women who do not.
I have 3, and I'm so effing miserable. I want to put a bullet in my brain.
Well, because why?
I love my babies.
You love your children,
but it is exhausting. It is exhausting. It is exhausting. But I love them, and I am lucky, and I have a great husband, and I have help, and all that stuff.
Can I tell you, once they're in college, you start to get your free time back, and it's really delicious. You forgot you had a life of your own.
So it's like a 20-year sentence.
Yeah, it's only 20 years. Just hang in there.
I'm going to be dead by the time that happens.
Just have 17 more years.
All right, let's move on. I have some interesting facts. This year, women became the majority of the workforce for the first time in American history. And of the 15 million new jobs projected for the next decade, the vast majority will be in fields dominated by females. So should we feel bad for the guys, Kate?
You know, we just held this man summit at Cosmo to look at this. And the sad thing is guys are falling behind. It's great for women. 60% of college graduates are women. But it looks like we've been busy paying attention to what happens to girls, and men have fallen behind, and they're confused. And sometimes what women see is he's a slacker, he's living in his parents' basement, working on a screenplay, and here I'm going to law school. The guy is just confused, and he wishes she understood him better.
They're reversing roles in a way, because the woman usually could stay home and take care of the kids. That's not happening anymore.
Well, it's not total role reversal, because women are taking on some of the guy stuff, and the guys aren't doing totally statistically. If you look statistically at their part in terms of helping out, women still have that second job when they go home.
Yeah, and that's the pressure that these young women are feeling, where they really are struggling so much more than the last generation, even 10 years ago. And you know, there's something else that's happened to young women today. It used to be, around the time when I was in college, we were told that anyone over 18, a woman over age 18 was called a woman. Under age 18, it's a girl. Yeah. And then there's this shift. Girls gone wild. Girls have to be hot. They have to be sexy. Way past age 18, people were being called girls. And so women today, in their 20s and beyond, feel that they have to work, they have to have children, and they have to be hot and sexy all the time.
What about the fact that women are making more money than men? Do you think they resent it, Julie?
Who resents it? The women?
The men. That the women are making more money.
You know, I don't know that the men resent it. I can't speak for everybody. I mean, in my marriage, everything is 50-50. We're sort of religious about it, which is probably to a fault, because I do believe that we are equal partners in everything. Including financially, which is maybe crazy of me. It probably is crazy of me.
Well. No,
but it works out. And when you get married later, and you're each bringing your own sort of independent experience into the pot. I think if you're 20 years old and you're getting married and you're just starting out, you gotta make a community pot.
But some guys do have a problem with it. When we ask them, they're uncomfortable with it. They've been raised to be the breadwinner, thinking that way, and it can be awkward.
This is interesting from your summit meeting that interested me. The number one thing men would like to change about women today, they wish women cared less about paycheck and status and were less materialistic.
Yeah. I think they're feeling the pressure that women expect so much of them. We want guys to be our soulmates, our breadwinners, get manicures and pedicures with us, be our best friends. And I think guys feel...
Get manicures and pedicures?
Yes! Women want guys to go mani-pedi experience with them. And I think guys are feeling pressure to play so many roles.
We have unrealistic expectations of men for years of thinking that they should fulfill everything in our lives, right?
Yeah, and so what I'm hearing is really both sides, that both men and women today both feel a lot of pressure to conform to some gender roles that we're not even really sure what they are anymore. So I think that people need to find a way to enjoy who they are and day to day go through life not worrying whether you're doing what the daddy's supposed to do or what the woman's supposed to do. And
what about this statistic from a recent sex survey? You probably know a lot about this, Sari. 85% of men said their latest sexual partner had an orgasm, while only 65% of women reported having an orgasm, okay? There's a gap in the reality check here.
Yeah, and the flaw in that study, first of all, is that those people were not having sex with each other.
Right.
But still, that having been said, women do fake. Exactly. Women do fake orgasm. And I think that they're faking orgasm because they want the sex to seem more exciting than it really is, and because they don't want to do the work that needs to be done. And it is kind of more work for a woman to have an orgasm.
And they don't want to bruise his ego.
And they don't want to... Why do men believe it?
Because they want to believe it. They want to think they please you.
And because they haven't had the sex education, which is why I also teach high school students and the college students.
The women?
The guys need they both do. The guys need the sex education to learn that the only true way to know that she's had an orgasm is if he feels her vaginal muscles contracting.
But that's not true.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't mean that she's not having pleasure.
You have 3 children.
We all have an individual experience, and I'm sure that as the author of such a tome, you know that there are all sorts and different varietals.
Oh, it's not a vaginal orgasm. It's still an orgasm that originates from the clitoris, and that's what the work that women need to do during sex. And I hate to call it work, but hey, you know, it's hard sometimes to be able to know the woman needs to stimulate her clitoris during sex.
Oh, how many jobs do I need in bed, for Christ's sake?
This does sound rather time-consuming.
It's like collecting tolls on the Jersey Turnpike after a while.
So let's make it more fun. It's the education. It's the men need to know to... Oh, also that study found that women need more stimulation than just PVI, is what we call it.
PVI?
PVI, penile vaginal intercourse.
Okay,
So the women need a lot more types
foreplay.
of stimulation,
How much
including the
foreplay? 30 days? 40? What do you
That would be great, right? Wonderful.
You know, the lion in the jungle has 30 days of foreplay. Now, that is my kind of animal.
But then they have sex like 200
No,
times in
not
one day.
not the lion. I made a mistake. It's the rhino.
Yeah.
Not a good-looking
everything's
animal,
slow
but who
there.
cares?
He's always horny.
The lion is on it.
He works really hard for it.
The lion does it every 5 seconds or
I know,
something.
just gets up, does it, goes
The
back in.
females are like, would you get off of me, please? Go back to the savannah.
And that's sometimes the way it is when a woman wants to orgasm. She doesn't want to say, hey, I need the clitoral stimulation now, because that's the only way I can have an orgasm during intercourse.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Very interesting. And, of course, catch Julie Bowen on ABC's Modern Family Wednesday nights at 9. Up next, from Coochie